What is the hardest thing you ever done?
Well, one of the hardest things, I think, is when you have to do your job and you have to decide whether or not you have to put somebody in jail. You have to decide whether or not you have to use force when someone's trying to harm you. And I'll tell you a story. When I was a police officer, starting out in my career, I had been a police officer maybe a month. There was a lady that had called the police department, called 911, and somebody was breaking into her home. And I was all the way across town in another beat. All the other units were tied up that night. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and she was screaming for help over the phone. So they sent me from across town from another beat to go to her home. And when I got there, she had already dropped the phone, and you could hear a struggle in the back of the phone, and the dispatcher was telling me what was going on. And I remember when I drove up, I saw her in the house. There was a light on in the house, and I could see what was going on. And the man was hurting her. And I didn't have any backup. So I had to make a decision what to do. So I went in the house. I had to force open the door. And the man stopped hurting her, and then he picked up a bottle and he started coming at me with it. Pretty scary, huh? It was pretty scary. At that moment, I knew I was going to have to make a hard decision because he had a bottle that was broken and it was a deadly weapon. And I knew that he might try to harm me or harm her. And he said some things to me that I thought, he's going to hurt me bad. I thought my life was in jeopardy. So one of the hardest things I've ever had to do was to pull out my firearm and point it at him. It was hard. It's even hard to talk about today because I think about that day, because I was just 23 years old. And when I did, I pointed my weapon at him and told him to put down the weapon. And he thought about it for a second. I could see him thinking about it, and I was thinking about what was I going to do next, because I was prepared to protect myself and protect the lady that was in that home. And the man put the bottle down. And so I made the decision to reholster my weapon. So I put it back up because deadly force was not there anymore. He didn't have a deadly weapon. But at that point, we had to have a physical exchange. I had to place him in custody because he had assaulted that woman. And we began to physically fight. You can imagine that's pretty scary. A 23-year-old young woman fighting this man that was trying to harm another lady and take her life. But I was able to place him into custody, put handcuffs on him, and everything turned out okay. She got help. I placed him under arrest, and there was a baby in another room too. There was an infant under the age of 1 in another room, and the baby was fine.
That's good.
But he had broken into that home and was going to harm her and the child, and I made it there just in time. And I'm very happy to this day that I did not have to use force, because I'm sure you can imagine how scary that could have been. It was. And I didn't have backup, and I had to do it all by myself. But that's what I was trained to do. But I realized that if I don't have to use force, if I can do something else to place him under arrest, that I needed to do that. And part of that was giving him choices. And he actually thought about it, because I could see him making that choice. Do I want to harm this police officer or not? And based upon me talking to him and telling him what he needed to do, as in drop the weapon, and that he was under arrest. And he thought about it, and he did. So it had a positive outcome. But being a police officer, that is one of the hardest things that we have to do, is making decisions about using force to place somebody under arrest. And we have to think about that every single day we come to work. It's hard, but it's worth it. Because if I know that I can keep people like you safe and your family safe, and I can go home to my husband and my daughter, then it's worth it.